Hey guys, there's a storm coming. Are you ready for it? Token Vaping employed with Pacific Vapes. This is the second part to my flavor review for Vape Storm juices. Thank you very much, guys, for the hat. I love the design on it, and it's a nice clash of colors that works well with each other. Um, just a quick recap, you can go to the website for this line. It is vapestorm.com. You can purchase their juice on their website in three bottle sizes. It's a 30 ml for $20.99, a 60 ml for $37.99, and a 120 ml for $64.99. So again, very reasonably priced, especially for a 120 ml for $64 plus tax. It's not a bad deal whatsoever. They do offer four nicotine levels. It's a 0, a 2, a 4, and a 6. Um, so it is a little different as far as the norm. Most companies do the 3, 6, 9, 12, 18. They go with a 0, 2, a 4, and a 6. They are not the only company that's starting to do that. I'm not quite sure if there's a specific purpose behind it. However, I do believe that, they're just trying to make things a little more, I guess, easier accessible, or more adjusting for people who do vape, especially if they do vape nicotine. For a lot of people, going from a 0 to a 3 or a 3 to a 6 is quite a big jump. I've done it myself, and there definitely is a noticeable difference. But even changing, just going from changing that by one increment and going from a 0 to a 2 and then a 2 to a 4, it's not as strong of a jump. So I believe that they're trying to do it to be a little bit more accommodating, so that if you are trying to wean yourself off of nicotine, or even if you are, vaping nicotine, that if you want to try a different level, it's not going to be um, a huge gap between levels to where it's going to completely throw you off. Again, it is an 80-20 mix, so it is heavier on the VG than the Clouds. As you saw in the beginning, it is definitely thick and abundant. However, trust me, this line is not short on flavor at all. It was founded by a gentleman by the name of Derek Dame. I believe it was originated in Boise, Idaho. I do believe now their facility is based in Nampa, Idaho. They do have their own in-house labs for a 4,500 square foot warehouse, where 1,900 of that is used for the lab itself. So they definitely take the time and follow all the regulations and codings that they try to do to make sure that what they're putting out is as high quality a product as possible, but still they're trying to make it affordable to the public. And again, I've recapped all of that as well in my first video, if you did notice it on the first line. Now, for this line, I did the follow-up for the rest of their flavor line. They were gracious enough to send me their entire flavor line. There were 11 bottles in that flavor lineup, so I didn't want to try to cram them all into one video. So I figured it would be easier to do them proper justice and split this up and break up the flavors in there. The ones for this line in particular is Veruca, which is, if anybody's ever seen the old Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, or excuse me, the original one was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I apologize. The Oompa Loompas in there for Veruca. It's a blueberry base. Now, it was brought to my attention, and when I thought about it, I believe Violet Beauregard was the one who actually blew up as the blueberry. So I don't know if that was just their take on it as far as just a throwback to that, or if they had a behind the scenes reason as for that. But the Veruca flavor is a blueberry based flavor. It is a stronger blueberry than some that I have tried, but it is not overpowering to where it's going to overtake your taste buds and basically make you not ever want to eat anything that's blueberry again. It is very abundant in flavor, but mild enough that it is enjoyable if you want to use it as an all-day vape. Illusion is for people who prefer a kind of a creamier cappuccino type flavor. This one actually won a Best in Show for coffee at a convention itself, so it definitely is deserving of that title. It pretty much is meant to give you the taste of, if you've ever had a cappuccino that has a little bit heavier cream in it, but it has more of a thicker custody exhale. So it gives you the sweetness of basically having your cappuccino, but it gives you a little bit extra, I don't want to say treat to it, but it gives you a little bit extra oomph to it, so that it makes the flavor definitely last throughout the vape. Shots After Dark is it's basically a banana, coconut, and mocha. It's meant for coffee fans. I'm not exactly sure why, because I didn't really get a huge coffee kick out of that. The mocha, I guess, would be the closest part to it, as I could see being patterned around the coffee itself. But it's definitely, for me, it was definitely more the banana coconut. The coconut was definitely an undertone, and there was a little bit more of a kick of it on the exhale, but I definitely did get a nice banana taste out of that. The mocha was just, I guess, an overtone that was kind of there throughout the vape, but again, not superly powerful. Engine number 9 is one of their top sellers. It is a mix of nectarine and peach. Basically, the impression that I get from this flavor, which I thought was actually kind of a nice twist on it, it was a little different. Other ones that I've had, basically when they say it's one or obviously not one, but two or more flavors, you tend to try to pick out those flavors specifically in the vape to see if that they're all there, and that's usually how people base their opinions on the flavor. This particular one I thought was a little different. It was a nice touch on that. Basically, it almost seems like they would fill a syringe with the flavor of nectarine, and then infuse it into a peach. Let it steep basically like that, and then put that flavor into the juice. So you're not going to specifically pick out peach or nectarine. It literally is if you combine the two in a proper ratio, and then try to taste it and just meld them together as best as possible. That's what you get out of that. That's actually the one that I had in here to start with. You definitely get the peach on the inhale, absolutely 100%, no doubt about it. But midway through the vape is when it starts to take its twist, and then the exhale of it basically tastes like a ripe nectarine. So it definitely has a nice mix of the two, but there is enough to where you can taste them both, but not enough to where it specifically feels like there is a straight cutoff. Now, out of this set that I did, my favorite of this set was Old Dirty Custard. This one is a banana custard with a hint of chocolate. Now, the one thing that if I'm going to say anything negative about this particular set for this video at all, the Dirty Custard, although being my favorite of them all, the only downside for me in this particular one is that I did not get as much banana out of it as I thought I would. It's supposed to be banana with a hint of chocolate, just to give it enough of a sweetness. However, when I vape it, I taste more chocolate than I do banana. Not to say that the banana isn't there; it's just not as strong in the flavor vape of itself as I was given the impression of. Now, I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if that's just how it is. I don't know if the longer you let it steep, if the chocolate takes over because it is a heavier flavor. It's still an enjoyable vape. It's still one. I'm not a huge chocolate person. However, as far as for an all-day vape, it definitely is something that I can vape on without it being superly sweet. However, I just was expecting more banana out of it. But again, if that's about the only negative thing I can say about this, overall, between this set, the previous set, as a whole entire line, Vape Storm definitely has got an impressive lineup. Now, I know there are a lot of lines out there that as a whole have proven their worth as far as solid flavors, great clouds, abundancy of taste. Just overall, the line itself is exceptional. For Vape Storm to be able to keep up with that, with 11 flavors, and basically have all 11 of them pretty much hit on point with maybe a short little shortcoming here or there, that's impressive in itself, and it just shows their dedication and their attention to detail and quality, to be able to put out that many flavors with that much of a genuine love and affection for vaping as a whole, to ensure that every flavor that they put out is as just a high quality as something else. Like, they have one that, like I said, is award winning, but that doesn't mean that that's the best one out of the line. They all pretty much match up. So I mean, on any given day, you could take any of these flavors and consider them to be the top shelf flavor of that choice. Now, real quick, I just want to do a quick run through on, I'll show you the clouds for it again, but I want to show you the bottles if you haven't seen my first video. That is their main picture logo. This is their letter logo for how their title seems. But it is a really cool skull. It's got a design on them. Most of the bottles, they do look similar there. They do have the name right here. They do have their nicotine level, plus the name of the flavor, size of the bottle, and then they have their warning, ingredients label, and everything else. Now, I did have one that I did not have a chance to open yet. I did previously actually taste this when I met Bill at a prior vape meet. He was the one that actually turned me on to trying this line as a review and suggested that I reach out to the company to do this. His wife, Bridget, is the one that I've been conversing with, who sent me the hat and the line of juices. So both of you, thank you very much. You're both amazing people. But Veruca, the blueberry flavor, was one that I did originally try, so I didn't have to open this one to remember what it tastes like. But I did leave this sealed just to show you that this is safety sealed, and it is not out of California. California is the main one that does basically not allow anything to ship out of it without those seals on it, but it's nice to see that more and more companies are following suit to ensure the safety and quality of their products. Again, if you receive any product from any company that has any sign of tampering, a seal is broken, the child safety cap, dropper top isn't completely on, bottle's leaking, this or that, there's a crack in the bottle, do not vape it, please. For the safety and health reasons, do not vape it. Just contact the company, let them know what went on. They will do everything they can to reimburse you for that or to replace it as quickly as possible. There is just too much out there problem-wise that vaping as a whole is facing, and just on just pure health reasons. You know, we always want to stay safe. We always want to promote safety and safe vaping. So definitely make sure you check all your bottles once you receive them. Now, real quick, I'm going to use the Old Dirty Custard, since this was the one that I enjoyed the most out of this set, just because it had a much more creamier custardy flavor. So you can see the cloud content on this as well. As you can definitely see, because of that 80-20 mix, the clouds are thick. They are clouds. There's not a, if I blow it at the camera, it definitely will cloud up the camera to where it's blocked out for a few seconds. It's not to where I can exhale completely on the camera, but you can still kind of see through it because the vapor is definitely thicker due to the higher VG. But again, there is no shortage of flavor in this line in any of the flavors whatsoever. They do not lack because of the higher VG. It is not something that you're going to be looking at and be disappointed with the cloud. So whether you are a cloud chaser, whether you are a flavor chaser, you definitely get both in high abundance with this line. So in a quick recap, basically Vape Storm has definitely found their mark with this line. Now, they did send another flavor. It does not have their initial same logo. This one is a little different. They have the skull logo a little bit smaller, but it is called Melange. It is a mysterious fruity blend medley from them. This is an extra flavor that they have that's thrown into their lineup. Now, I did not have a chance to try this as of yet. As you can see, it is still sealed. I will be doing a separate post on this, but I wanted to make sure that I've got the video done for the main lineup from Vape Storm. Overall, as a whole, this is a very solid lineup. There is enough of a variety of flavors in here that even the most pickiest vapor should probably be able to find something in here that they can vape. Again, that's not to say that everybody that vapes in this world is going to take to this line. However, it would be really hard to find somebody who absolutely cannot vape anything from this line. With 11 flavors, 4 nicotine options, you know, flavor-wise, cloud-wise, it's definitely, there is an option there for most. If your shop or wherever you order from, online, whatnot, if there is no option that you have to be able to get this line, go directly to vapestorm.com. You can order directly from them. Any shop that basically prides themselves on carrying top quality products, a name brand, a flavor line that is definitely worth vaping all day, should carry some of these flavors, if not all of them. That's not to say that, that there's going to be a shop that just because they don't carry them doesn't mean that they're lesser than anybody else. It just means maybe they haven't had a chance to reach out to them, or maybe they haven't heard of them. Not every juice company that exists in this world is known and carried by every shop in this world, which is part of why I'm doing this, to help others know that, there are other options out here than what you're accustomed to. There are other options out here for flavors that you may think but there may have a new twist on them. So anything that I can do to help further vaping as a whole, juice companies, devices, products, apparel, anything, just definitely hit me up, tokenvaping@gmail.com. Subscribe to me on YouTube, hit me up on Instagram, on Facebook. I have a Pinterest page. I check all these on a daily basis, probably sometimes more than I probably should. But definitely hit me up. I will do everything I can to reach out to different companies and see what I can find out, how I can help further the vaping community as a whole. The only way that we can definitely promote this and show that this is completely different than smoking, than any other type of vice like this, is we need to educate, we need to inform, we need to let people know that just because it looks the same as far as the exhale of vapor, it is nowhere near the same as smoking. Most of the people that argue it's either because they don't know or they just don't want to know. That's on us, to stop arguing amongst ourselves about why we should be doing this or why we shouldn't be doing that. We just need to band together, support it as a whole, to let people know what the difference is and why this is a much better alternative to smoking. With that said, Vape Storm, again, thank you guys very much for the opportunity and the privilege and honor to sample your line and to do the video on this. Again, thank you so much for the hat. I love the way it pops. Definitely something I may probably be wearing on a more regular basis as of now. Vapestorm.com, definitely check them out. They're on Instagram as well. Definitely hit them up. Guys, I can't say enough about the friendliness to the people behind the scenes, to the people who make the product, to the people who help sell this product. It's definitely worth checking out. Reach out to them, reach out to me. If not, just remember, vape on, vape strong. Have a good day.